Oh, hey, Jeremy here from Long Speed Marine. Well, we're going to do a shop update. I haven't done a video in a while. I haven't done an update in a while. So I'm going to let you know what's been going on around here and where we're at right now in the shop. So, last thing I was working on was the motor for the C50. If some of you follow me on social media, you may have seen I had an issue with the main cap. I'll show you in a minute what happened there. Kind of derailed me on getting the motor together for that C50. But I'm ready to get back on that. Also, my health has been a little bit down. So we finally sorted that out. I'm feeling better. I've had the cold that everybody else had for a while, and I still seem to have a cough. I don't know, it comes and goes. Anyways, so that sort of slowed me down a little bit. Plus, the shop has been an absolute disaster. You can see it still kind of is a bit of a disaster, but this is just all parts piled up for the C50. And I don't want to move anything because then I'll lose it. So I'm trying to clean up a little bit. We've got our entryway cleaned up into the shop and some of the other stuff put away. So let me show you that. All right, so we got this whole entryway was just riddled with stuff because I would just open the door, throw it in, close the door, and just leave it. So I've got this cleaned up, so obviously I can walk in here. This area was a bunch of stuff. Still got to put a little bit of stuff away. This wood goes in wood storage, just behind me where I'm standing, so that I'll just get that up. And then the rest of this is just some stuff that needs to be stored on a shelf. So the Mercury sitting here. I am motivated to work on the Mercury again, finally. So I think that's going to be the plan between the C50 and the Merc this winter, is try to work on the two of those. I'm going to kick this boat out and get it outside because it's going to be a while before I end up working on that. I think that's just going to be a long-term project. I kept wanting to get onto it, but I've just got so many car projects going on that I can't sort of swap between car stuff and boat stuff because this is going to need a lot of woodwork, which means all my woodworking tools and that kind of stuff need to come in here, and sawdust and all that. And obviously sawdust and welding and grinding and stuff don't mix well together. So I'm going to kick that thing out until I'm a little bit farther along with some of these car projects. You can see, obviously, I got a whole bunch of stuff piled up here. This is all C50 stuff. Radiator, the camshaft that came out. I do have a couple tools here. This is my dust collector for doing woodwork stuff, so that needs to be put away. The front clip and all that is sitting here because I need to get it on once I get the motor in. So let me show you what happened with the motor here. I was tightening down the oil pump and hammering on the oil pump pickup, the new oil pump pickup there onto the oil pump. And what happened was I cracked this main base, the main cap, where it threads in. I'll show you a picture when it actually happened. So I was tapping that thing on, didn't realize at the time, cracked this thing, and all of a sudden it's loose and won't tighten down. What the heck? So I pulled it out, and you see, this is the main thing that I'm worried about. In my hands now, I've got a bunch of this material in my hand. So I don't know how I'm going to clean that out without it getting into this oil passage port, or be able to stop that. What I might try and do is brake clean this as best I can. Maybe put some, once I put the stud in, put some JB Weld or something in there, just to stop those little flaky pieces from coming off, because that could really ruin my day on this motor. So we were close to getting this motor back together. That derailed me. I thought I was screwed, but then one of my buddies commented and said, just buy the ARP stud, which I have now. So I'm just going to put a stud in there, and hopefully I should be fine. I don't know where the pieces are now for that. Anyways, you can tell. Oh, there's one. See? So there's what happened. That cracked off. So the threads, for whatever reason, from this bolt weren't in there very far. Like, they were only in there. I'll show you this piece again. Literally 3 threads. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why that is. This is the bolt that came off of the oil pump. So I don't know why it's only in 3 threads, but that's kind of chintzy. Anyways, I shouldn't have been tapping on that, I guess. I should have done it off, but I wanted to make sure it was flat. Anyways, so that derailed me on this, and then I got sick with that cold, so I couldn't get back out here and work on that. So we're eventually going to get back on this so I can get it back into the C50 and get that thing mobile-ish and moving along. Once the engine's in, I've got a Lyle's exhaust kit to go in this thing, and I'll show you how that's going to work. Basically, it's all parts out of their catalog, so I shouldn't have to custom make a whole bunch of stuff or anything. It just basically maybe shorten up some pipes or something. But I've got a whole kit here that should pretty much just go together easily. So I'm going to show you how that's done. Again, off of parts right out of their catalog. So that'll be pretty cool. The 57 Merc 2-door, 57 Olds 2-door, getting all screwed up. I got too many cars. So 57 Olds 2-door, I've got some parts hung on it. I've got the door hung on. So I've got most of the body parts to finish, like to put this car together. I did get the interior, which is now all put up over there. So you can see that's the custom interior that goes with this car. It is a bit ripped and ratty, unfortunately. In some of the corners it got weathered, but it's still so cool. Like I can't wait to get this car together and get it going. So what I'm going to do is put this in the corner where the boat is now, and just put it over here. I need to use this lift because I put a exhaust system on my daily driver Yukon, and it's just way too loud. So I got a resonator that I have to put in there. So I need to put it on the lift to put a resonator in there. I might do a video on it or just a bunch of shorts. We'll see what happens there. So that's what's happening in the shop. What's going on here. So I got a little bit more tidying to do before I can move stuff around. But like I said, right now the big goal is going to be pulling that boat out so I can get this car over in that corner and then be able to get at this lift. And then once this car's off the lift, the 51 Merc will be going on the lift because I'm going to swap back and forth between the Mercury and the C50. And I will work on the 57 as well, but it doesn't need to be on the lift. I need to bring the parts car inside, which is outside, and strip a bunch of parts off it. I need the steering column out of it and a bunch of other stuff. It'd be nice if this car, I was hoping by now I would have had that stripped off and get it in here so that this car steers easier, because right now there's no steering column and all the steering is kind of funky. I got to take actually all the steering off now. I just reminded myself because this used to be a power steering car and the parts car is manual steering. So I'm going to swap this one over to manual steering, full race car mode. So I got to get all that stuff off into here. So I'd like to get that parts car back in here and strip it down before the winter time or during winter, because it's going to be winter soon. I just had a memory pop up on my Facebook that was I was plowing snow on this day last year, which is November, what day is it? 16th, 17th? I don't know. I was plowing snow with my tractor. We had a foot of snow. Anyway, it's not snowing out now, but it will be soon. So I got to get those cars moved over, get stuff moved around outside for winter, and just get ready for that. So that's the goal. I will still keep plugging away on this a little bit. I want to have the shop set up so that I can work on some stuff when I get fed up, because it all happens, right? Especially when you have this many projects. I overloaded myself. I wish I hadn't done this now. I kind of have regrets that I have all these projects because it bothers me that they're all partially done and I can't stay focused on one or the other. But on the flip side, having all these project cars is, as soon as you get fed up with one, well, you can go on to another, but not when the shop is a complete disaster like this. Because that's what happens, especially with the C50, because I've now got so many parts to basically finish it piled up that I can't move that off of that hoist because I've got boxes and boxes of parts sitting there. Most of the stuff is engine stuff to go on the engine. I've got pulleys for the front of the motor. intake manifold, all that stuff sitting there to get the motor back together, to get it on there. And then obviously once I get the motor back together, a lot of that stuff's not going to be on there anymore. And then I can bolt the headers on, and then I can do the exhaust, because that's the other big pile of stuff sitting there is the exhaust system. So it just snowballs into a whole bunch of stuff laying around. So it's hard to move that stuff. So once that's a little bit more done, I'll be able to move it, get it off the hoist if I want to be able to get off the hoist, because that'd be nice to be able to have it running and driving, to at least move it around. So that's what's happening around here. That's the plan in the shop. So once I start working on stuff again, I'll be filming. Like I said, probably the next thing that I'll be doing is getting back on this C50, because I'd like to get this motor buttoned up. It's not really great that this motor's sitting here all in pieces. So before I start doing anything else, I'd like to get this motor buttoned up back together and then set in the chassis, so we can get rid of a lot of this junk once that motor's back together. So thanks for tagging along. Thanks for sticking through all this stuff. Hopefully you watch this video, watch some of my other stuff. There's a lot more content there if you haven't watched it, on working on the Mercury and all kinds of things. So thanks very much. I appreciate all you folks that subscribe, follow along and watch my stuff. And we're going to keep doing some more content, and hopefully we'll see you out at some car shows in 2025. So thanks very much. Take care. And listen, failure is not an option. You just got to keep going on your project. See you.